Happy December, everyone, and welcome to Soulful Thoughts from New Zealand. This is your host, Meghan Don, mystic, author, teacher, and death and dying guide. There has been a thread running through my life lately, and that is the presence of the dragon energy. It actually began back in 2010 when I was visiting my ancestral land of Scotland. While taking a morning walk, I saw the land before me with a very different perception. No longer was she the gentle rolling green hills I had seen every morning, but before me I saw the living, breathing form of a dragon sleeping. It was not my fantasy, imagination, or too many King Arthur stories. I was feeling her in my very body. I felt her breath, and I felt her power. I knew she was sleeping a dreamless sleep, and I also knew she was destined to wake, bringing forth her power in and for humanity. Our ancestors have long acknowledged the symbolic nature of the landscape as revealing specific energies, more recently referred to as ley lines. It is something we would do well to reacquaint ourselves with, for in this way we can co-create more efficiently with the land spirits to bring forth and utilize the natural energies contained therein. The dragon has long been associated with the primeval serpent or snake, and many 16th century alchemical texts speak of the two aspects of this dragon serpent as representing both the female and male energies through its association with the moon and the sun, or the colors of white and red. In these alchemical texts, red is associated with the masculine and the blood, and sun as life essence, and white is associated with the feminine and the moon, the body and physicality. Now, when we venture into Kundalini or serpent power teachings, however, we encounter a slight switching of these energies, with red representing the feminine and the fiery aspect of the soul, or the life-giving blood, and white representing the masculine, cooling, and transcendental nature, or the life-giving semen. Where these alchemical texts align with serpent power Kundalini understanding, however, is in their acknowledgement that both the feminine and masculine energies need to join in order for the serpent-like Kundalini energy to be brought into a place where it can be properly used as an evolutionary force. Now, there is an alchemical text that states, with reference to the dragon, "I carry in me the force of men and women. Woman dissolves man, and he makes her solid. Woman dissolves man, and he makes her solid." This makes for an interesting contemplation. How can our feminine nature dissolve or perhaps soften our masculine force? And how can our masculine nature aid our feminine force in becoming more solid? When we are too fiery, can we bring in the cooling aspect of our more transcendental nature And when we are too cool and detached, or floating in our ethereal or mental nature, how can the fiery aspect redefine and draw down to earth and physicalize the situation at hand? When we think about what's happening today in our world, I wonder if this is what is happening. The feminine is dissolving the masculine paradigm. And is the masculine now making the feminine more solid? It's a very interesting contemplation. And to think that the dragon energy is now rising, and I think it's rising with quite a few people. In fact, here on my journey in New York, where I currently am, I've been working with a young Japanese dragon master. And she is awakening certain dragons within the lands, different lands in the world, so that they may rise. So it's a very interesting contemplation. As a 17th century alchemical manuscript relates, all things are brought together, and all things are dissolved again. For nature, turned toward itself, transforms itself. All things are brought together, and all things are dissolved again. For nature, turned toward itself, transforms itself. Where I am living in New Zealand, there are places close by where the dragon and the dragon energy lives. Some of that dragon energy is under the sea. But an encounter I had was actually, one of the encounters was on the land, while walking a labyrinth that is placed at a retreat center in our beautiful, fertile bushland and close to freshwater pools called the Goddess Pools. So while I was walking the labyrinth, I actually felt the dragon energy come into me. I experienced it as the greatest energy and gift of calm. I walked and flowed in and out of the labyrinth in a profoundly calm, slow, and very expansive way. I was shown a blue-green dragon as one who was helping to birth the new earth into being. And also this dragon was protecting the earth with her dragon body. I saw her rounding her body around the earth with the fullness of her protection. I was very grateful for this experience and for the dragon herself, who was giving of her energy for the earth and humanity. And that gift of calm stayed with me for quite some time. I've also been connecting with my Scottish ancestors, and through them have been given the gift of the red dragon. I felt it to be the one who I saw sleeping beneath the earth while visiting Scotland, right by the River Don. Yes, that's Don, the same as my surname, where my ancestors come from, D-O-N. It is now time for her to awaken. It is now time for all of us to awaken. So just like any being, the dragons have a variety of energies. So some are quite fiery, I believe, and they have different roles to play in this cosmic dance that we are all joined in, just as we all have different energies and different roles to play. So for me, so far, it is that constant gift of calm and expansion that they bring to me. The gift of calm as life dissolves. The gift of calm as life resurrects. As that alchemical text says, all things are brought together and all things are dissolved again. For nature, turned toward itself, transforms itself. And so when we are turned toward ourselves, we transform ourselves. And in this transformation, in this dissolution, is the gift of calm, is the gift of peace, is the gift of resurrecting. So I wish for you all, as we make our way towards the solstice and the end of this year, yes, already, I wish for you this gift of a great calm as things come together, as things dissolve, and as your very nature transforms itself, and the greater nature of humanity and the nature of this earth. Now, some of what I speak about today is taken from my book, Feminine Courage, in the chapter called The Sleeping Dragon. So there is a link below for the book, and there is an ongoing chapter of the Dragon Awakening. So we might speak more of that next time. And on December the 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be holding an online meditation for the solstice, where we will awaken our inner sun and our inner moon, arising into the anointed Christ mind. So again, you will see the link below to know more information and to register. I'm holding these monthly online meditations and finding them very powerful. So even if you can't join live, you can also access the recording, which many do. So there will be no podcast in January, but I will return in February. So blessed tidings to all for these next powerful months of being reborn into and through the darkness into the great light of life, both inner and outer. I wish you and your loved ones all peace, all love, all protection. May love surround you. May love surround your mind, your heart, your body, your soul. Arahanui.